everyone.
Year po.
Loading. Good evening, heavenly parents and true parents, President Hori, Dr. and Mrs. Kitten, Sir Julius, Sir Ronnie, Sir
Need to get out more medicine.
Welcome also Vice President Ronnie. Welcome po. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. Happy Year of the Tiger.
Okay, so everyone, currently we have 94 participants, so please don't forget to put your attendance in the group chat. And also we will be starting very shortly. We just try to call Reverend Julius to join us.
What was the coldest it got? Minus 10 Fahrenheit, something like that. 8. Approximately. I don't know. Huh?
Okay, so once again, to all our Cheonbo families, our Cheonbo candidates, and to all the blessed families who are here, welcome once again. Welcome back and Happy New Year. We are very happy to see you. And we are now on our 39th week of this meeting. So President Hori is currently traveling, so maybe he cannot join, or if he can make it, he will join. And also maybe Reverend Julius also will join a little later. So without further ado, brothers and sisters, let us all welcome Reverend Jaime Vergara to facilitate this meeting.
Happy New Year to everyone. Hello.
New Year.
Nice to see all of you again for the year 2022. Thank
Happy
you so
New
much
Year.
for joining us
You're
with
okay,
our
you're okay.
regular weekly meeting. So to begin with our meeting, we would like to call our Honorable Dr. Venus Agustin to lead us in the opening prayer. To request Dr. Venus to please lead us in the opening prayer. Dr. Venus Agustin, are you around?
Okay, Jimmy, I cannot search him. Parang wala.
Oh, I see. Ganun. Okay. So maybe we can request one of our kuyas from our Finjap. We would like to ask our Kuya Roy Karumba to lead us in the opening prayer.
Join me in my prayer. Good evening, our dear loving heavenly parents, our victorious true parents of heaven and earth and humankind. Again, today we gathered as blessed members, leaders, Cheonbo families, to again listen to the testimony of some of our Cheonbos, and we invite your holy presence to be with us from beginning to end as we receive inspirations, and we can use that in how we can take care also our tribe, on how we can be able to really substantially establish Cheonbo in our country, Philippines, and somehow our country can contribute for the establishment of substantial Cheonbo in the world. Truly, you always educated us with your words, with the wisdom of our elders, with the experiences of all our Cheonbo families who testify and to us their practice in how they can reach their goal as heavenly tribal messiahs, how they work in the front line, and how they experience your love and experience you, Father, in the front line. Truly, we are so blessed because we have our two parents, we have our elders here, we have our central blessed families, our Cheonbo families, who always share their experiences and in their life of faith, so that all of us can really learn and can really apply all our learnings to substantially establish our own ideal families, our own ideal tribe, and ultimately we can establish a really substantial, holy community of yours that can restore this whole world, loving Father. Our life is a life of offering to you, or our thoughts, our words, our actions. We need to always align ourselves to you and to our true parents. Our true parents are our model, and there is no other model that we need to follow except our true parents. That's why this evening we want to open up our hearts, our mind, to listen to the testimonies of our Cheonbo families. Thank you for everything. I would like to report and offer this prayer in my name, Roy Karumba, Iko Mayhara Central Blessed Family. Adieu.
Adieu.
Adieu. Adieu. Thank you so much, our Kuya Roy, for that opening prayer. So once again, first, let us offer our greetings to Heavenly Parent and our true parents. And let us greet our Chun-Iwon President of Asia Pacific, our Honorable Dr. and Mrs. Robertis Kittel. So let's greet them a Happy New Year. Of course, to all our great leaders, our Vice Presidents, Reverend Dr. Julius Malikden, our Reverend Ronnie Sudusta, to our National Leader, Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halog, and to all our Cheonbo families, our Cheonbo challengers. So let's greet each other again. I think it's still proper to say Happy New Year to everyone. And
Happy New
welcome to our
Year.
39th
Year.
Happy New
New
Year.
Year.
Happy New Year po. Happy New Year, everyone. Hehe, buhok mani, badu sayo.
Wow, nice to see all.
Happy New Year.
Everybody should to be healthy and
We miss
very
everyone.
good. Okay, so at this point, we would like to hear again the special message coming from our 21 president. Of course, they're not in the Philippines, and now they're happily being with their family in America. So let's welcome our honorable Dr. Robert Esquitel and Tita Teresia for their welcoming words, opening words to begin our meeting for this evening. Let's welcome them with our virtual clap.
First, thank you, Jaime and Shirley. We are in the Philippines,
Huh?
virtually. Virtually. We are with you in heart, and that's the most important. We look forward to coming back to the Philippines. We are so grateful. Recently, we concluded the 11th Songhua second generation workshop. It was a 4-day workshop. And I think some of you may have been there or even had your children that were there. And I want to share some things that I thought were really kind of special about that. Probably the first thing is President Hori was there and he gave 3 presentations and then also closing remarks at the end. And some of the takeaway points that I had from what he said, why should we study the divine principle? And it's a good question. And he said, especially the second, third generation need to study the divine principle because it is the history of their own family. So just as you gather around at Christmas time or New Year's time and you look at the photo albums of old photographs and when the children were young and the aunts and the uncles and your family, especially for those who have received really the transition of blood lineage, then that transition of blood lineage, that is your heritage. That is your family. So kind of you need to be able to study that. I thought that was quite insightful and I think touched the hearts of many of them. Then also President Hori, he chose kind of the right time to ask the second generation to make a determination. And it was not at the beginning, because at the beginning people are coming and they haven't understood or they haven't gotten something from one of the presentations or one of the activities that they had done. But at the end, everyone is at a high, and everyone is grateful, everyone is thankful. You've got, they had, I think, 6 different youth reflections. And so everyone was feeling this is a really great workshop that I believe, my personal belief is that everyone made a life-changing experience. And we heard in the reflections, those who are more or less on the right path, they could redetermine their commitment to this lifestyle. And those who needed a little bit of adjustment, a word here or a phrase there, helped them kind of awaken them in one sense, a little bit of a shock. And that was also very, very good. So I think everyone made a life-changing experience. I did, because this was the first time my daughter and I were together. So Rosia from America was asked to give, I asked her, the parents do that, right? I asked her if she would not share, from her, because she's working with the second generation. She's with the, Generation Peace Academy. She's been involved in second generation education counseling for maybe 6 years here in America. And so our daughter shared about a recent book published by the New York Times. It was a New York Times bestseller. And the title of the book was Give and Take. And it wasn't a principal author, it was a businessman. He had nothing to do with the principal, but he had principal ideas. So the title was Give and Take. And so she read the book, and the book says there are 3 types of people. There are givers, there are takers, and there are matchers. So the givers give all the time to everyone, no matter what the situation, no matter who they might be, they give, and they just give naturally to everybody. The takers try to take as much as they can, and they give, but they only give to the people that they can take from later. So they usually give to their bosses, they give to the, the higher up
Greetings
people
of
in the
love
office,
and
because
peace
that will
to
help
our
them
Heavenly
get a
Parent,
promotion or get a
to our
raise
true
or
parents,
something like that.
and
So
to
those
all
are
of
the
our
takers.
brothers and sisters.
And then there are the matchers, 1-to-1, eye for eye. If you give something, they will give back, surely. But they won't initiate either giving or taking. They'll just match whatever you give to them. And so this author then looked at who are the most successful in a business environment, the givers, the takers, or the matchers. And who do you think, well, let's start who was at the bottom? Who were the worst people? The worst off, in terms of advantages given, something like that. And it was the takers. It was the givers. The givers were at the bottom. The givers, the people who are giving all the time. And then who was at the top in terms of their interaction with other people? Who was at the top? It was also the givers, interestingly. So that kind of fits the right scenario, because when you start to give, it's a sacrifice, and so you do lose. And that was reflected in part of the survey. They were making a sacrifice, so they lost something. But think about that. If you're in a business community and you've got somebody who's giving to other people, they give to their higher ups, they give to the lower up, they give to everybody. So it doesn't matter their position in the company. It doesn't matter whether they can come back, give back or not. They just give. And so those are the people that you want around. Those are the people that you want to promote, because what you give to them will be shared with others. And so they end up getting the raise, or they get up the promotion in the company. So I thought that was quite interesting. I had not read the book, but I enjoyed listening to that from our daughter. Anyway, thank you. This is a new year together. So it's the right time to make a resolution. We're all feeling good about the prospects of a brand new year. It's like a clean slate, and we can make, this determination together. So I think this is our first gathering in the new year. I look forward to hearing the reflections from the Cheonbo victors that we have to share together. Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you so
to
much.
everyone.
Now, Tita, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. And let's make it a year with utmost sincerity, attending our Heavenly Parent and to parents and each other also.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Happy New Year to your family.
Thank you.
Happy New Year,
Our
everyone.
meeting.
Actually, it's almost -5 degrees Celsius here. And they had
Wow.
snow for the last 2-3 days. So we've got a lot of snow, and it's very cold.
Wow. Can you bring us the snow?
I'll bring you an ice cube, yeah. But it'll melt on the way.
Wow, amazing. So we really miss the snow, especially in
Yeah.
here. So looking forward that we can again experience that kind of
Does it ever snow in the Philippines anywhere on the mountaintops?
Fog.
Fog, but no snow. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So
Thank you.
yeah, for being with us again this evening. And so we look forward to see you again face to face. So with that, thank you. And that's so I'll give them our virtual clap. We always appreciate their presence in joining our meeting every week. Thank you so much. So at this point, I think we are also set, ready to receive also the message, the opening remarks of our Vice President, our Honorable Reverend Dr. Julius Malik Dem. So let's welcome him with our virtual clap. Let's welcome him, Sir Julius. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to all my precious brothers and sisters, to Dr. and Mrs. Kittel. Looking forward to have you here back in the Philippines. And please bring snow. We have snow in the Philippines, the halo-halo. We are eating snow in the Philippines. Greetings also to all our leaders, Reverend Ronnie, Reverend LA, Kaya Jimmy, and all our precious Cheonbo leaders, Cheonbo couples, blessed families, all our leaders. We're so grateful. Actually, before the end of this year, we have additional Cheonbos who completed all the requirements. I think the evaluation is already elevated to the IHQ, to the international headquarters. So very soon you will also be officially become Cheonbo victors, and you will still be included in this year 2021. So hopefully we can have more. Especially, I think many of you already know that next year there will be another Cheonbo induction ceremony, right? So hopefully those who could not make it this year 2022, surely we need to you need to become Cheonbo victors, and we need to multiply more. In Asia Pacific too, we only have like 95 who really completed, although around 147 have registered. You should not miss this year 2022. Not because after this, I heard Kuya Jimmy, I think in one of our meetings, he said after this 2022, there will be, the next one will be 2027, right? So that's why we should not miss this year 2022. And especially also, this year 2022, according to Chinese zodiac, right? This is the year of the tiger. And in Korea, of course, we don't have the tigers originally here in the Philippines, but in Korea, this is considered as one of the like a part of the culture of Korea. And this year also, whenever we think of the tiger, especially this year is year of the black tiger, and many Koreans look at this year 2022 as a time of great energy, especially positive energy, and it's also a time of some kind of revolution. So many are talking about that this year will become like a time of like fearless transition. Something that did not happen in the past will happen this year, something like this. So many Koreans are talking about this. So that's why when we think of the Providence now, True Mother is also pushing forward this year the Heavenly Unified Korea. And already True Mother started that last year, and it will continue this year because this year will be a transition point in Korean Providence, particularly the election, the presidential election. So let's consider that this year of the tiger is very timely, especially during the 1988 Summer Olympics in Korea. The mascot is the tiger, right? Korean tiger, mountain tiger, and also during the Pyeongchang 2018 Winter Olympics in Korea, also the mascot is also the mountain tiger. So that's why for Koreans, really this year it promises something very positive change. Some kind of unprecedented things will happen, positive energy, and like adventurous time. So when we look at the Providence also in Cheonbo, we should look at this as an opportunity also to multiply more Cheonbos. If this year, let's say in the Philippines, we only have like probably around 70 or around that number, then we need to have even double or triple that. So that should be our determination. From among ourselves here, we need to start thinking of how we can encourage more blessed families and not to miss this year to really become Cheonbo. Dr. Keaton mentioned about the successful completion of the 11th Asia Pacific Songwa Youth Workshop. This is together with Asia Pacific One, and I really love the unity of our elders and leaders, especially here in Asia Pacific. President Dunkley was there. He gave lecture, and then Dr. Kittle also gave lecture, and of course Rosia, their daughter, also very powerful lecture and testimony. And then towards the end of the workshop was President Hori's lecture. And what is amazing about this is that, of course, it's only online workshop, but several of our participants, like first time for them to join this workshop, are very inspired. So that's why somehow we already transitioned to that era wherein we can penetrate the heart of people even in an online platform. So important there is to break that barrier of heart, which Mother already showed to us last year, started in 2020 and last year, that even though the Rally of Hope looks like very distant and looks like a digital platform, but it touched the heart of many people. We did that in the Philippines last year, early last year, February last year. We did the Rally of Hope Philippines. It was a virtual event. However, we could touch also the heart of many people. So that's why we already through Mother showed to us how to break through even in a virtual platform. So this time, let's continue to carry out that passion and determination and moving together with our true Mother. One thing that President Hori shared during that second gen workshop was that, all of us, particularly in unification family, especially he was talking to the second gens, we received the principle. But the principle is like a seed, he said. It's like a seed that is being planted. So it must grow. So even though we received the principle, but it has to be planted somewhere. And then, he made the analogy that this seed will be planted in our hearts. And then he mentioned a story, a parable in the Bible, talking about the parable of the sower, the one who plant with seeds, and then he throw the seeds, and some of the seeds fell on the rocky grounds. Some of the seeds fell on the thorny grounds. Some of the seeds fell in a barren, dry ground. And some of the seeds fell on a fertile ground. So he said, President Hori said, just like that, in our heart, what kind of ground or what kind of soil is there? Is it a thorny soil? Maybe full of resentment, or maybe, some kind of hatred in our hearts? Or is it, like a rocky soil, very hard, difficult to penetrate? Or is it a barren or dry soil? So that means our heart means like, cannot, no emotion at all, cannot relate, and very individualistic. Or is our heart ready to receive like a good soil, so we can receive the seed? So that's why, even though the principle is perfect, that God is giving to us is perfect, it depends on which heart this principle will be planted. So that's why, and many of the second gens were like reflecting, yeah, we can relate to that because they grow up in an environment wherein principle is there. They grow up in a family where principle is there, but did it really penetrate their heart? So that's why I think this is also, when I was hearing that analogy and explanation of President Hori, I said, yeah, it's the same with us also, even as elders. So that's why when we start this new year, we have to start thinking. I think I gave this as one sermon long time ago. It's the best time to have our heart check up, right? New year is the best time to have our heart check up. What is in our heart? We might think that our heart is still fertile, like a fertile soil, but maybe it has become barren or dry already, or already some thorns already are in that heart, or already it became hard like a rock. So that's why New Year is a time for reflection. New Year is a time for renewal and repentance. So that's why with that kind of soil, then we're ready to move forward and bring bigger victory this year, 2022. So thank you so much to all our Cheonbo families, all our leaders for your hard work last year. And let's carry on. Let's bring more substantial victories and really move the heart of our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our Honorable Reverend Dr. Julius for that welcoming words as we welcome and begin our meeting. And we would like also to congratulate our 11th Asia Pacific Songwa Youth Workshop. So this yearly program for our second generation. So look forward that more of our second generation will join for this year, 2022.
They
So
had
again-
328 participants from 16 nations.
Wow, so amazing. So really, Asia Pacific is not just only 1 and 2, but we are working together. So thank you so much. Congratulations, everyone. And we are very sorry also with some of our blessed families, especially from Mindanao, from Palawan, and from some from Visayas who cannot join because until now they don't have any electricity, and they're still trying their best to cope up and go back to their normal life in some places in Mindanao, in Palawan. So because of this typhoon, so let's pray for them that they can join us for the next meeting. So with that, we like to continue. Before we are going to receive the testimonies and the best practices coming from our Cheonbo families, we would like again to give you a brief report on the activities that we have done and we have accomplished coming from our Cheonbo families and our challengers and brothers and sisters from the region from the report. So last week we did not have because also we have a problem with our internet. But this time let's welcome our National Secretary, Ms. Rose, to show us the video report of our HTM in the Philippines. Thank you so much. So with that, let us also appreciate all the great works of all our blessed families, Cheonbo families, Cheonbo challengers for their programs and activities and follow up for the tribe for before ending the year 2021. So let's give them our virtual clap. Thank you so much for all your hard works. So at this point, we would like also to give a short a brief report on the update of our Cheonbo challengers, because as you know, we have ended with the evaluation just before the end of the year 2021, and we have additional like 14 from Asia Pacific. So and then for the year 2022, unofficially they said we are not going to have the Cheonbo induction for 2022, but only for those who have catch up with the evaluation until 2021.
Thank you.
But for the year 2022, we don't have, but hopefully by 2023, there'll be another one. That's why let's prepare again all our blessed families who are challenging to become Cheonbo families for not for this year, but for 2023. So let's welcome our regional secretary of HTM, Ati Crystal, to give also a short report on this update. So let's welcome our Crystal for her hard work. So Crystal, let's welcome her with our virtual cloud.
Okay, so can you see my screen po? Kuya, is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is just a short update for the 2021 Cheonbo application and also announcement. Okay, today, number one, today concludes the 2 levels of evaluation procedure from national and also regional committees, and all Cheonbo candidate requested for evaluation now awaits for IHQ final approval. So Sir Julius already mentioned about the numbers of the Cheonbo couples who request for evaluation. We had 95 couples in Asia Pacific 2 out of the 147 who registered in the Cheonbo website. And from the first batch, 80 couples were able to be inducted. And then for the second batch, who are awaiting for induction are 15 couples from Asia Pacific 2. And as for Philippines, we have 107 couples who already registered in the website, and only 70 of them proceeds for evaluation. Next, this announcement from IHQ Cheonbo team applies only to Cheonbo candidates belonging to batch 2 evaluation who agreed to complete the blessing of ancestors. So as per IHQ Cheonbo team, we request of your cooperation to extend the deadline of the completion of the agreement of ancestor blessing for candidates applying for the evaluation during January 1st to 31, 2021. So before the revision, the deadline was on the Hyojong Cheonbo Special Rite Works commemorating the 62nd anniversary of the cosmic holy wedding of the true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, and this would be on April 16, 2022. And after the revision, the deadline will be until the Hyojong Cheonbo Special Workshop on May 2022. So I would like to announce that this revision is only for the batch 2 Cheonbo candidates who are now under evaluation. From the first batch who were inducted and those who agreed to complete the blessing of ancestors, please still follow the first before the revision, which will be on April 16th, 2022. Next, the candidates belonging to batch 2 may proceed to the Cheonbo registration blessing by watching the recording from previous event through Peace Link. There will be holy wine ceremony as well to be conducted. through the presence of a church leader or a pastor. And the details of this will be sent out very soon in our official group chat. So yes, that would be all. And thank you so much, Kuya Gina.
Thank you so much, Ati Crystal, for that update on our Cheonbo evaluation. So hopefully, with all our Cheonbo challengers, we can complete, especially the blessing, the blessing and before by May. Thank you so much again for that report. So with that, let's also give thanks to Ati Crystal for that report. Let's give her our virtual clap. Thank you so much. So at this point, we are going to proceed now with the testimony and best practices of our Cheonbo families on their HTM mission. So first, as I think no need to introduce much because they were featured during the Cheonbo testimony during the IHQ testimony of our Cheonbo families last time. So let's welcome our honorable Bishop Joshua and Ati Yumiko Husol for their testimony and for the best practices on their presentation for this evening. So let's welcome them with our virtual clap.
Good evening, our great leaders. Greetings of peace. Happy New Year to all our leaders, President Hori, Dr. Kittel, and Madam Teresa, our Vice Chairman, Julius Malikdim, Ronnie Sulusta, National Leader, Leo Angelo Halog, Chairman of the STEAM, Asia, Jimmy and Shirley Vergara. Good evening. Before we present our prepared video, it's the testimony, just allow me to report our recent it's the follow-up activities, focus on educational program and education. So these are a few presentations before we officially present our prepared testimonies already presented before. So this is my wife, Yumiko, and I. This is the latest pictures we have last January 1 as we celebrate the New Year's 2022. These are our children, the twin boys and one girl. And then after the Cheonbo induction ceremony, I focus on reaching out some religious leaders whom I have already known for a long time because we were involved in our national chaplaincy of the Philippines, and also another one is the Ambassador Chaplains International. We also have the Agapay Samarilata Foundations. So these are my long friends. I didn't have the chance to really talk about our movement and even present our divine principle teaching. What they have known, I am Lamoni. So it's really, I just waited for the right time. And then finally, because of the launching of the PCLC, I have the chance to really seriously present our movement. They were asking me what we have already done, why we launched this big event or big conference known as the PCLC in Asia. What were our foundations already laid? And then I have the chance to present. They give me, I visited the churches one by one, and then I presented at least almost 1 hour, looking back all the foundations, what our two parents have already done to advance the uh, visions and missions towards building a world of peace, ideal families, and building a heavily unified world of Cheonbo. So these are the bishops and pastors. They are my friends already, and this time they really committed themselves to listen at least for 3 days. So I organized them in such a way that they will not miss those schedules. At least once a week, they have to offer 1 day. I tried my best with all my prayer to really present artistically the very core content of the divine principle. And then my goal is to really proclaim our two parents, second coming, to these pastors, to these religious leaders. Most of them are Baptist bishops and pastors. So they are very, very, you know, strong in their faith, and it's not easy for them to be open-minded. But they really open their minds and they listen very carefully, and then there was no resistance when I really proclaimed through parents. Thank you, Dr. Kate. I used your way of explaining the second coming. And so they don't feel shocked about that proclamation. Because I always told them that Jesus already returned spiritually, but he appointed, anointed, and commissioned Father Moon to fulfill the role of the second coming. Therefore, he is the second coming. And they are very happy to hear about that. So they are responding very well. They keep coming back, and they completed the 3-day workshop. And then after that, I brought them to the headquarters for Julius Malikdim, Rio Angelo, our leaders, and Dr. Kate to really give more educations to them. You know, when they come back, they look forward another event like this. They were so happy about. They feel that we are really people of God, people who have true love. They really feel that they belong to a true family and their true parents. So this is the graduation in the headquarters. It was December 10. And then after that, I focus on inviting the couples who are already blessed, who have completed the 3-day ceremony here in the Cavite. So these are the couples. This is the pastor's couples. They also brought their wives to the workshop, and they are very happy to be invited to receive the blessing right there in Korea with the Mother Moon as the officiator. So they look forward for that special day, and they're expecting probably it can happen this year or next year. So they are preparing now for that very big event. I will conduct lectures on the blessing to all these pastors who are couples. So this is the graduation again in the headquarters. They receive very happily through mother's memory. And then after that, I gathered them for a Christmas Thanksgiving, but purposely to educate them also. I give them the True Parents course, even during the Christmas party. I also invite our regional director, Melky Gabaran, to come and also share on the meaning and message about Jesus, about Jesus' birth, Jesus' mission, Jesus' purpose of God. And then after that, I brought the couples who are already blessed, who have completed already the 3-day ceremony. These are couples who are active. I give them some token of thanksgiving and some sort of gift and they're already very happy about that. And then I had a chance to visit my Abel tribes to Mindanao, to Davao City. They're very happy, warmly welcoming me. Sad to know that we could not really gather everybody. We used to have that grand reunion in hundreds of, family members around Mindanao. But this time, because of pandemic, only we gather a few couples. And then I went to my farm and together with, I went to the farm and I could see how much the farm has developed. Before we just spend 1 hour to walk on the mud. But this time, they have now the electricity, the road is concreted. And then when our member in Davao learned about that I have this farm, he's engaged in, subdivision or development. He has some realty in Davao. And then he said, your farm is the best area to develop, and you can bring all your tribes there, put up houses there, and then so I have the plan. I will allocate at least siguro probably 5 hectares of this farm, and then I will develop that as like a subdivision for blessed couples, and then I will build a church, and then they will attend the church. So this is almost like 40 hectares farm, fully planted, and I will allocate at least 5 hectares of this. So this is the blessing. I think I would like to create a model holy community here. This is the area somewhere in the Bunawan, Agusan del Sur. It's a very nice area. Thank you. And now I would like to present the video as my conclusion. Thank you for listening, dear brothers and sisters. Greetings of love and peace to our Heavenly Parent. Lord. Our two parents. Greetings of love and peace to our Heavenly Parent, to our two parents, and to all of our brothers and sisters. Since we have met our two parents and offered our lives to serve, attend, and follow Heavenly Parent with unchanging faith, loyalty, and obedience, we have been receiving God's love, unending blessing, and protection in our daily mission work. I am Filomeno Anunciado Husol, 63 years of age. I joined the Unification Movement, full-time mission on August 10, 1981. My wife, Yumeko Suzuki, 59 years of age, joined in June 1, 1985. We received the holy blessing on October 30, 1988, belonging to the 6,500 couples blessing. We are blessed with 3 children, the twin sons, Philsan Husol and Philcub Husol, 23 years of age, and 1 daughter, Kamyun Husol, 22 years of age. All of our children have been matched and are now preparing to receive the true parents' holy blessing. Since we joined the Unification Church, we started to witness and share the divine principle to our family and members of our able tribes, so we could proclaim them the new truth and the appearance of the second coming, the arrival of the true parents of heaven and earth and humankind, and invited them to the holy blessing. In 1992, my physical parents joined the holy blessing in Korea, together with the 30,000 couples. From that time, my parents themselves helped me to witness the rest of our able tribes, and they received the holy blessing. Since I joined the Unification Church, my public mission has been in witnessing. As one of the early members of the church, I was involved in a pioneering mission, moving from one province to another, educating and training young members. Beginning 2011, I was so involved in the witnessing mobilization for the Interfaith Family Blessing Festival. I led the witnessing and education to the Higaonon tribes of Northern Mindanao. We did the intensive Divine Principle Education workshop and prepared them to receive the Holy Blessing. We brought hundreds of couples to the Interfaith Family Blessing Festival held at the province of Sultan Kudarat, Mindanao. I also invited my able tribes to participate in that blessing. Later that year of 2012, we organized the Interfaith Family Blessing Festival for the Higaonon tribes in Balingasag, Misamis Oriental, Mindanao, with more than 1,200 couples receiving the blessing. After the devastating Super Typhoon Yolanda struck the Central Visayas provinces in 2013, I got involved in the Interfaith Family Blessing and Memorial Tour. In the city of Trece Martires, we gathered big number of couples joining the blessing. At the biggest Interfaith Family Blessing Festival held at Marikina City Sports Complex, we could bring many couples also joining the blessing. Beginning the year 2015, our Heavenly Tribal Messiah Witnessing Mobilization began, focusing on the specific barangay area, our main area of HTM, where we conducted the house-to-house witnessing of couples to join the Holy Blessing. With the permission of the barangay chairman, we conducted the blessing orientation. We spent at least 45 minutes to introduce the FFWPU, the purpose and value of receiving the blessing. We used every possible venue to gather couples and conduct the blessing orientation. Out of the 430 couples we have blessed, we found couples willing to undergo deeper education and training, especially those who have completed their 3D ceremony and are becoming regular members. We are so grateful to have two volunteer young members helping us to conduct house-to-house divine principle and family values education. We could also raise up home group leaders among the blessed couples in the HTM area. Because of the pandemic health protocol, we could only gather a few number of couples for their continuous education, training, and church fellowship. We do online divine principle lectures and invite them to join when there is a rally of hope, church events, and online morning and evening church devotion. We founded a foundation known as Agapay Samaralita Foundation, Foundation Helping the Poor, and our HTM couples have become recipient of our livelihood projects, medical service, and relief assistance. Through Father's prayer and wish for all blessed families to inherit and fulfill the mission of the Heavenly Tribal Messiah is the greatest gift true parents have given us. This has inspired and empowered us to do and accomplish HTM mission by all means without reservation. When we were informed that HTM couples who have accomplished the vertical restoration of ancestors, 430 generations, and horizontal restoration of 430 couples shall receive the Cheonbo Award and would become Cheonbo couples as heaven's treasure, we will feel with God's love and more inspiration and excitement to complete all the necessary conditions to be blessed as Cheonbo couples. We started to join the Ancestors Liberation the first time we went to HJ Cheonbo Heaven and Earth Training Center since 1996. It took so long for us to complete the liberation and blessing of our 430 generation ancestors, as this required monetary offering. But with the special grace of true parents, we successfully liberated and blessed our ancestors 430 generation. We are eternally grateful for this heavenly treasure award we received from our heavenly parent and true parents. We have completed all the requirements of the 430 generation ancestors liberation and blessing in vertical condition and blessing of 430 couples in horizontal condition. We received the Cheonbo Award from True Parents on October 10, 2021. From the bottom of our hearts, we express our eternal gratitude to our beloved Heavenly Parent and True Parents for bestowing upon us as Cheonbo couple such a precious blessing of becoming heaven's treasure, bringing hope and happiness to them. We feel so happy yet so humble and honored to receive such a unique and very special position, title, and greater responsibility given to us. Deep within our hearts, the ideal of becoming true Cheonbo couple is still to be substantially accomplished. Despite the fact that we still have so many impurities to clean up and responsibilities to accomplish, our Heavenly Parent and true parents accepted those conditions we made, both the vertical and horizontal restorations, and with that, they bless us as Cheonbo couple. With all this blessing and recognition we have received, I and my wife offer our new resolution, commitment, and determination to fulfill our remaining mission and responsibility and goal to educate and raise up all our 430 HTM couples and make them filial sons and daughters of our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Thank you very, very much.
Wow, thank you so much. So amazing, so inspiring, very encouraging testimonies and best practices of our Cheonbo families from our Honorable Bishop Joshua and Yumiko Puzo. So let's give them our virtual clap. Thank you so much for Bishop and also Ate Yumiko. And we're so happy also that your children now are really much, wow, that's really a great achievement, being one of the blessed. Your hard works really bring substantial result now. Thank you so much for sa report. Again, let us give them our virtual clap, brothers and sisters, our appreciation. Salamat po. Oh, amazing. So next, we're going to listen also to the testimony. Of course, I think everybody knows the couple of our Honorable Kuya Romy and Ate Kino Nuyana. As you know, we love so much Kuya Romy. Well, we miss him a lot, but somehow this they become also one of our Cheonbo families for 2020. So at this point, let us all welcome our Ate Kino to give the presentation. So let's welcome the family, the couple of our Honorable Romeo and Kino Nuyana, for the best practices and the testimony for the 400 for the HTM mission. Let's welcome them with our virtual clap.
Go, Mama! We love you!
Mama, you're the best mom in the world!
Ma, we support you.
Don't worry, Ma. We're always here for you. We love you.
Love
We
you.
love you! Fighting, Mama!
Good evening, Heavenly Parents and true parents, President Hori, Dr. and Mrs. Kitten, Sir Julius, Sir Ronnie, Sir L.A. Tonight, I would like to share our testimony of our Cheonbo activity. This is me and my husband's Romeo Nuyana's humble offering to our Heavenly Parents and true parents. We belong to the 30,000 couple blessing order. My husband Romy joined the church in 1986 and I joined in 1989. We received the blessing in 1992. In January of 1994, I came to the Philippines and my husband and I started family in February. We have 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. My husband's future children who are active are Nono and Hiroko Aureliano and Louis and Sylvia de Pera. We started our HTM mission in 2015. Before we started our HTM, we offered National Johnson Condition together with Dr. Yon. My husband and I attended the 120-day morning devotion almost every day. We made it part of our sincere condition to even arrive earlier than anybody else during these morning devotions. Many of the successful tribal messiahs were able to accomplish this because of this kind of national condition that moved the spirit world to work with them. Our family strongly believe that this kind of national condition is what made us have the strong will to accomplish. My husband Romy studied HTM near our house, but he couldn't bring much result. This was because most of the families in Antipolo are either cohabitating or they do not live together as married couples. We started from here little by little. Later on, Romy was assigned to ALT, so he went to Indonesia where he got incarcerated for conducting witnessing activities there. Still, with a positive mind and sincere heart to offer to true parents, we were able to overcome this ordeal. During the first awarding of HTM victors, our couple couldn't make it to be part of the 35 couples awardees from the Philippines. Honestly, I would like to confess that at this point, I gave up trying to accomplish HTM. During this time, Chiyomi-san told us that if only Kinu and Romy did not give up, the Philippines would have been able to offer 36 victors to true parents, which is more significant number. It was painful to hear these words, but I accepted it and felt very sorry for Heavenly Parents and true parents. In April 2016, I went to Cheonbo with some second gen. When it was finally time to write on our wish paper, I knew exactly what I wanted to wish for. I wanted to accomplish our couple's HTM goal. I strongly felt that Heavenly Parents waited for so long for me to fully determine. More than anybody else, He was the one who wanted us, our couple, to accomplish this goal long time ago. Heavenly Parents was the one who was ready to reach the goal with me, long before I even started to sincerely ask His support. That time, we offered our wish paper, and I seriously set my mind to reach the goal. At the Chonsimon, I sincerely prayed, determined, and wrote my ultimate wish, which was to fulfill HTM during a definite time period. I wrote, we will complete our HTM before August 2016. From that point on, I thought to myself, whatever God has prepared for me, I will be ready to accept. Right after coming back from Cheonbo, Chiyomi-san approached me to do HTM mission in Mindanao. I felt it was God speaking to me. Our family had just enough to sustain our daily life, so during this time, I decided to borrow money. I talked to my husband, who just arrived from Indonesia, and said, let's do our HTM in Mindanao. Without any question or hesitations at all, Romy happily said he would go and do 430 times 4, 1,720 couples. This was an agreement with Cheonbo-san, where she requested Romy to do HTM for 3 more couples. He said he will. Without wasting time, since we promised to God to fulfill within a definite time period, Romy packed the blessing materials and drove the Balingasap, Mindanao. He brought one brother with him. I started to pray to our absolute good ancestors to go to the HTM area and support Romy. Some days he would call me and say, today I only had 10 people. Area was a very far mountainside. And so some days he would call and say, today we were able to gather 100 people, but I like only 50 people, so that I can see that they understand. Romy is more concerned about the lecture and education than the actual blessing ceremony itself. His way to educate people was chapter 1, God's original plan for the ideal world. Chapter 2, where he shared about the problem of the world and the root cause. Then he would show the movie of hell, and then he would present the blessing as the solution and motivate them to receive the blessing. He made a PowerPoint in Visayas language and spoke to them in their local dialect. Most of you know that Romi's character is naturally friendly and easy to get close to people. If he lectured in their dialect, I'm sure they could educate and touch their heart more. After 40-day separation period, he would gather them again and give them a lecture of 3-day ceremony. Some people would come to him and honestly confess that they could not do 40-day separation. He never discouraged them and told them next chance. In fact, I remember Romy being happy that they even confessed. He would appreciate their honesty and encourage them to fulfill. He stayed in his HTM area for 6 months, intensively educating the families there. Our biggest trial was when the other blessed couples could not send in money, so one day, Cheonbo told him to stop for a while because there was no way to sustain financially. But Romy couldn't stop. He immediately went on to find a way to continue the blessing. What he did was loan the money, then he bought the detox machine. He would treat people with this machine. He raised money to sustain the HTM activities. I am sure that it was Heavenly Parents who gave this idea to him. Heavenly Parents could easily work with him during this difficult time because Romy never lost hope and was fully determined to fulfill his mission no matter what. By the end of 2016, Romy successfully came back home with the 1,720 couples name list, as he promised. Each one of them completed the 40-day separation and 3-day ceremony. If we check the album, most of them were farmers and fishermen. God bless the farmer and fisherman because their life is very simple and their families stay together. This was a great foundation for them to receive the blessing. We were able to become HTM victors within the time frame we promised to Heavenly Parents. In 2017, True Mother invited us to Korea. I did not feel like we were just participants of one event. I felt True Mother really welcomed and comforted us. One time, True Mother invited us to Cheonbo. What stood out to me from what she said was, you HTM victors should help other blessed families to succeed in HTM. In 2019, 60 plus Japanese came to the Philippines in hopes of fulfilling their HTM. I spent most of my time attending them. Romy also, if he was requested to give lectures to other people's tribes, he would gladly do it. It took our family 1 year to return the money we borrowed to fulfill HTM. Then we had to prepare again financially to follow up our tribe. Another big challenge our couple had to face was registering for Cheonbo in 2020. We had trouble complying with the requirements, which involve a lot of computer work. It was so difficult that again, we almost gave up. But Heavenly Parents kept giving us people who would help us to fulfill this. I am so grateful to them. Finally, we were able to enter Cheonbo in 2020, having completed his mission. My husband happily ascended to the spirit world in May 2021 while doing Chanyanyosa. I can imagine that when he met True Father and Heavenly Parents in the spirit world, He happily shared our story in detail to them. This is what gives our family the greatest comfort and peace during this time. To summarize, our family is so grateful to Heavenly Parents and true parents for being with us through it all. We realize that Heavenly Tribal Messiahship can only be fulfilled when it is done hand in hand with Heavenly Parents and true parents. We understand that true parents' hope is to fulfill 43 couples. I'm thinking of starting 43 near our place because we have no chance to go to Mindanao anymore without roaming. We will pray more, and I believe God will give us a way to fulfill just like He always did. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our Ate Kido and Ate Kuya Romy. So let's give our deep appreciation. We really miss so much our Kuya Romy with that very accomplishment. I know if he's around and he's been very willing to give more of his testimony on his pioneering. It's really he's a pioneering brother, our elder brother. So let's give our appreciation and our gratitude again for that presentation from our Ate Kino Nuyana. Thank you so much for that great report. So with this, let's go now to the reflection of our blessed families who are also joining with us and attending this meeting. So as you know, this platform was created in such a way for us to report and also to witness and to encourage all our blessed families, our Cheonbo challengers also to do the same and to become our Cheonbo families. So I would like to invite our Mrs. Janet Kabayama to give her reflection on the presentation for this evening. So let's welcome our Tora Janet Kabayama for her reflection. Let's welcome her with our virtual clap.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Can I be heard?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Dr. and Mrs. Peter, Dr. Julius Malikdem, our NL Dr. LA, Dr. and Mrs. Jaime Vergara, our brother Ronnie Sodusta, our Cheonbo couples and HTM families. Good evening and Happy New Year. Okay, we welcome. I know everyone welcomed the year with a new determination. I hope you have offered them when we ended the year in December 30, 31 and welcome the year on January 1. Yeah. So we rather had we know that we continue to do and continue to complete what have been asked of us as perhaps our determination. We always have the determination to offer always, especially in becoming a Cheonbo couple. So I was supposed to give this reflection scheduled on December 27, but was postponed today. So I wonder why Ate Shirley has asked me amidst the medical condition that I have been going through. I am getting better, but I still suffering the symptoms, some symptoms. I am not completely recovered yet, but I cannot say no to Ate Shirley when she came to me to ask me to give this reflection. So I just said that okay, despite the symptoms, I still suffering right now. But I am getting better, and I perhaps have to because I welcome the new year with rather a positive attitude, but at the same time with rather anticipation or apprehension of the pandemic. We've been hopeful kasi I've been hopeful the pandemic will end and start the new year with rather and lower cases, but we have been again experiencing beginning to experience against the surge. I'm telling you this because in my household, my daughter is a frontliner, and 50% of her coworkers has been infected by the COVID-19 again. These coworkers of hers has been infected in the past and has been reinfected. So I'm warning everyone to continue to take the precautions, because even though you have been infected, you might again reinfected, and please double mask and please take care. So this is I do not mean to scare you, but just to say the warning to you, as because we've been again we might my daughter has been considering to take quarantine. She might be quarantined if her test if the test of her co-dorm mates is the result is positive, because her dorm mates has been under test, and that will mean quarantine again. We've been going through quarantine many times in my household because I have a frontliner daughter, second gen. So I have to respond to the report given by our Cheonbo couples, and I'm supposed to respond to those two respected elder brothers who have been who have also pioneering experiences. Our Bishop Joshua Hasso and Kuya Romy Nuyana Kopol. Although Kuya Romy is not with us right now, but I'm happy to hear about what they have been offered us as their offering as Cheonbo couples. I actually took note of what they said, because that might help me. Give me tips on how to go through when I begin also my HTM goal. So what I learned from them is the kind of the level of determination you should offer, the level of Chonsonyo, the level of heart you're going to offer in order to fulfill the HTM goal, because it has to be taken, the fulfilling it has to be taken rather seriously with a heart of devotion. So Kuya Romy, that Diana couple taught us how they started it. They started with offering wish paper. They started it with offering morning devotions as a condition for them to go through. And with Kuya Romy, who is I know very well how effective he could be in educating. We're able to show, or we're able to plant the seed that Kuya Julius has mentioned, planting the seed, planting the divine principle in the hearts of the people. And also, yes, our Kuya Joshua couple, I know them very well. I know how they work hard. I know how they continue to offer anything when they are asked to do. They have been I know them as really very good in witnessing. Kuya Romy and Kuya Joshua, I know them very well because they're very good also lecturers and have also pioneering spirits. And that pioneering spirit perhaps has been very advantageous for them to be able to fulfill that HTM goal. So I'm learning from them. I'm learning from the past Cheonbo couples when I attend this meeting, and I'm learning to them. I ought to take note, perhaps to take notes of how they do it, because we only learn through the experiences of our Cheonbo couples and our elder. my appreciation and my congratulations to our elder couples, the Nuyana couple and the Joshua couple. I learned from you, and I think I even been careful of what Ate Kino has been saying, because I know they have the heart. They have the heart to continue despite the financial difficulties, because I also have that problem right now. And what is amazing is they were able to pull it through. They overcame that difficulty through finding other means, raising money, and that was very very wise of them for wise of Kuya Romy to begin fit detoxifying, because I support that activity, because it's also an alternative health practice, alternative medicine practice, and that was very good. That was very good activity, and that perhaps some couples should consider doing it as they continue their HTM goal, because also sharing health practices or giving aiding our prospect couples might even is also helpful for them when we aid them when we help them with their health issues. So I know Kuya Joshua is also doing acupuncture. I know that. I know, and I know that Kuya Romy is rather focused on health products, and that was very wise of him to think about raising money through that device, because I know that device, and I support health practices, alternative health practices. That was very good. I learned a lot from you. I learned from our Kuya Joshua, from the couple, from Kuya Romy and Ate Kino. And yes, and I would like also to end this by, yes, it is true, by I end this by repeating what Kuya Julius has said regarding planting the seed. So we have to find the right soil in order for us to be able to plant the seed and harvest them, and harvest beautiful fruits. But perhaps we could also consider, we could consider removing the thorn and the dirt from the soil that may not work. So we might begin cleaning them before we plant the seed. Perhaps I might add that perhaps we might consider it, because the seed should be planted everywhere in order for us to see the fruit of the seed. So we might perhaps help those perhaps have thorn in their hearts, clear the thorns in order for us to be able to plant the heart of love that they can receive from the divine principle and from the principle. I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share my reflection. Thank you very much. Happy New Year and good evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Janet, for that great reflection. So we can learn from these testimonies how to be patient and never give up, because perseverance, when we have to invest something, when we plant, then for sure there's going to bear fruits. So thank you so much for that reflection. So let's give our virtual clap to our Dr. Janet for that reflection. So at this point, we would like also to hear the comment and the takeaway of our Vice President of Asia Pacific 2. And we are very happy to see the couple of our Honorable Reverend Roni and Wiranut for this evening. So let's welcome them with our virtual clap and let's appreciate them. Happy New Year to the couple of our Vice President, Reverend Ronnie and Wiranut. So let's welcome them with our virtual.
Yes, okay, magandang good evening to everyone. For those of you, this might be your first time to see my wife speaking with me. I will ask her to briefly introduce herself to all of our elders, our Cheonbo Victors. Introduce yourself.
สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening, everyone. My name is Wiranut Sirimusika. I'm from Thailand. I'm here in Philippines 4 years. I'm working here. Right now, I'm maternity leave. So I have 6 months to take care of my baby and then go back to work again. Thank you.
Aju. Okay, thank you so much.
Aju.
Okay. Yeah. So the never give up spirit of our elder, I think somehow we could inherit that one. So this love is impossible, almost impossible to survive. This blessing po, almost impossible to survive. But we did it. Okay. And I think it's really a big miracle that two of us is in your front right now. And yeah, finally you can see my wife. So that's all po in our part. Right now I will share my reflections about the testimonies that was given by our elder. First, I would want to mention Tito Joshua, Filomeno Hosol, and Tita Yumiko Suzuki. Actually, my image of Tito Joshua in my mind is the elder with the guitar. You know, I always remember he's the one steering back in my early days in the church. If you have just one guitar and you have like the elder, like Tito Joshua, then there is fellowship is happening. You know, just one guitar and then everyone is singing in happiness. I remember po, actually I miss those days that we could gather in a center or in our church before the actual lecture. There is the music that really touches our heart. That's my image of Tito Joshua. Actually, I looking forward po to hear your Divine Principle lecture. I never attended one. So I'm hoping in the near future po, we could hear your Divine Principle lecture. And I would like to say thank you po for really not giving up about not all the time we are full-time, not all the time we are on the height of our mission. But you have shown to us that no matter what happened, whether you're in the mainstream of the mission or you're in the at the back, still po your heart is unchanging. And thank you so much showing us those photos that no matter what, with or without position, you've shown to us that mission is mission. That the heart that you understand through parents' legacy, and you determine to follow through parents' legacy is something that I would always be grateful for showing it to us. And this illuminates the heart of your children. I had the opportunity to work with your twin in HJYLT, and I could really see the faith. Talaga po, the parents is really our model. Whatever you can see with your parents, naturally you tend to inherit it, you tend to copy it. Even your God-given talent in singing or in instrument, they really inherit. And I think it's a blessing for all of us to see them playing, in the band, making our Sunday services or evening devotions alive. And I'm looking forward po that, just like how it is in the older days, we could have that spirit. Yung kantahan pa lang, feel mo, andyan na si true parents. Just singing alone makes you feel it's really the reverence. Ang taas na agad ng spirit. And we are all prepared to cry when we receive the lecture. That's po the image of Tito Joshua sa akin as I grow up inside the church. And thank you so much for showing it to us until you become the victor, Cheonbo victors. And yeah, thank you so much po. And Tita Suzuki, Yumiko, thank you so much for really showing. I hope my wife also can really know what it feels to be wife of the church leader and really break through. Thank you so much. And lastly, Tito Romy Noyana and Tita Kinu. I must say po, Tito Romy is my savior. His passing in the spirit world is very timely. Those are the time at the height of my COVID. During his Songwa ceremony, I became positive in COVID. And you know what? The next day, I tested positive. I thought my initial thinking was that offering na ba ako? Ganon. Am I the offering? Maybe tonight or tomorrow will I go to the spirit world? I was so confused at that time. And I am crying in heaven because what will I do with my 2 daughters? You know, at that time only 1 daughter and my wife is pregnant. I really pity my wife that she needs to work outside to provide for the family. She's pregnant and now she needs to take care a COVID positive husband while she is pregnant. You know, my mind at that time is really so confused. I do not know what to do. I do not know where to go. But the passing of Tito Romy and then the Songwa ceremony of Tito Romy is a wake-up call for me. Tita Kinu, thank you so much po because when I attended the Songwa ceremony, it made me feel, it makes me determined to live more. I cannot die like this. I am not a Cheonbo. This is not destined for all of us. Our final destination should be to become Cheonbo and go to the spirit world. You know what? As soon as I realized that one, the last money on my bank account, I needed to talk to Tita Ninang Paps and also to many people. I talked to them and I sent to them that last money in my bank account, hoping that would become a foundation so that we can become Cheonbo family. I think like I cannot die like this. I cannot go to the spirit world without achieving this one. And you know what? The next thing po is a slippery slope. I do not know how we did it. But we did it, and then we can become Cheonbo, and thanks to Tito Romy. And alam niyo po, one more thing that Tito Romy inspires me was that even though his life inspired me, that even though you are not a missionary anymore, you started family, you have your children, you are working in the society, but when you receive the calling, when you want to support True Parents Providence, you will give up everything and then follow True Parents. You know, even with 4 children, he managed to go to Indonesia to become youth leader, ALT leader. This is something that even I myself, I think I cannot follow. You know what? I think when I am working outside, I do not know how to come back. But Tito Romy's example showed to us that if you want to support True Parents Providence, if you want to lecture, you go there and you lecture. If you want to do something for True Parents Providence, no matter what it is, you go to the church and do your part. Yun po, that when I became elder someday, I know not all the time po I will be the vice president. Not all the time I will be super strength, with the strength of the youth to be in the mainstream. But Tito Romy's life helped me to realize that if you want it, no matter what is your age, no matter with or without position, you will do it because you want it and because True Parents want it for you. And to the leaders, Tito Joshua, Tito Romy, thank you so much for showing to us these examples. This Cheonbo gathering, so much, grabe po talaga yung mga realization that we cannot realize this by attending divine principle workshops or different workshops. We only realize this when we hear the actual reality of the elders fighting for their family, fighting for their faith, fighting for their love for true parents' providence. And once again, thank you so much po. Because of your examples, because of your life, I cannot imagine in your time, you do not have model. In your time, you're the elders. You are the pioneers. Wala po kayong tinitingala. Pero ngayon, we are so happy. We are so lucky because we can look in your life. We can learn in your life. And we could strengthen our faith as a younger. So thank you so much po, and with my sincerity, I really want to determine to establish more churches this time so that we have many young people and also elders who can connect to the church. Lastly po, I just want to share, I went to Mariveles. I was invited by the government. On my last day, I met our church member, blessed family in Mariveles, crying because we do not have center anymore in Mariveles and they do not have center to connect to. I feel like even an A-type church, if we could planted just one of those in a center, then there will be a dwelling place for our long lost brothers and sisters. My deep prayer po with the Heavenly Parents and True Parents in the new year is that we could really connect to these people who were once a faithful full-time, but now because of some reason cannot connect to the church. I think and I really hope that we could connect to them more. So once again po, thank you so much. And me and my wife is learning a lot. I believe po, whatever I learned from your life, I am applying it. That's why my blessing is strong. My blessing is surviving despite our situation. Kamsahamnida, saranghamnida everyone. And do you want to add more? A little? So, my wife says, kamsahamnida rin po, and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to our Honorable Reverend Ronnie and Veranot for your takeaway for this evening. We are so happy to see your couple. Now you are complete. You're already one in heart and spirit and everything. So let's give our appreciation and again our congratulations to Sir Ronnie and Veranot for being with us for this evening. Thank you so much. So let's give them our virtual clap. Thank you. Wasdika, Kungkap. Okay. So at this point, of course, I know he's supposed to be with us this evening, but because of, I think, so many things to do, he cannot be with us. Of course, with our President, Seichi Huri, our regional president. Even though how much he wanted to join, but because of his very busy schedule, then he cannot join with us this evening. We've been waiting from the very start, but still cannot join us. So hopefully by next meeting, he will now be available to join us and to hear all these testimonies that we are continuously sharing every week. So with this, we would like to invite now our Honorable Reverend Dr. Leo Angelo Halog, our national leader in the Philippines, to give us the closing remarks. Let's welcome him with our virtual clock.
Thank you very much, our Jimmy and Shirley. I would like to greet everyone. Happy New Year po sa inyong lahat. I would like to really express my gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents, and to our Dr. and Mrs. Kito who are attending from America. Thank you so much, Dr. Kito, for all your love and investment for the world, and especially also in the Philippines. We are truly grateful. Also, our Dr. Julius Malikdam, thank you very much, our beloved Sir Julius, for all your great work in the Philippines, especially. We are really grateful in the Philippines. Also, Reverend Ronnie and his wife, and we are really happy to see you today with your wife. And also all our Cheonbo families and those families, brothers and sisters who are joining. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Yeah, today was truly very inspiring, as it was really very moving to listen from the amazing testimony of faith. And I know all of us were really moved with the presentation of the family of Kuya Joshua and also Kuya Romy family. I feel sorry that President Hori couldn't be here today. Maybe I could send maybe quite late the information to him. He didn't know that there's meeting today, and today he told me he's traveling, so it's difficult for him to participate. Yeah, so I feel sorry that he couldn't listen from this truly very heartfelt and really great testimony of faith of the couple of Kuya Joshua, their family, and really also Kuya Romy's family. They're just one of our amazing elders who are really showing us substantially. Sometimes really true parents is our ultimate model, but sometimes we need someone to look up to that we can easily connect. So our elder members, our pioneers, they are like the middle, they are the ones connecting us to true parents. So without them, it's very difficult to follow true parents' path. So we are really grateful and really so much indebted to all our elders, to all our pioneers who have laid the path for us. Listening from their testimony, we can just realize still how far we are. And we cannot imagine their accomplishments and their faith until this very time, until the very end, and really investing everything, as what Reverend Sir Ronnie was said. It doesn't matter what position we are in our movement. We don't know until when we hold positions, but this is not the main thing. Anytime we can, change, we can be changed, but really, how can we keep our faith when we were full-time, never changing until, kaya nga, President Hori was mentioning, I'm really grateful to many meetings, attending to President Hori. Truly, he has a very deep wisdom, and we are really grateful to receive directly these very precious really words of guidance directly from the parents' representative. And because of this, really, we are also encouraged and really empowered to follow the same path, and truly also one day become a model to our younger brothers and sisters. So when I was young, when I was younger and new in the movement, what I heard with Kuya Joshua, he is a walking divine principle. This is what some of the members was telling me that time. So I'm very curious to know who is walking divine principle in our movement. And then they are talking about Kuya Joshua Husol as the walking divine principle. So because he's not that time, they are using really manual. They memorize the divine principle. I think Kuya Joshua is one of really the best divine principle educator and lecturer in our movement also. So they are saying that he is walking divine principle. Almost he memorized the divine principle. This is what I really heard, honestly, when I was a young member. And when I heard Kuya Joshua, how humble he is, he was a former national leader of our country. And this time really cannot fathom the kind of heart our elders have. Still, we are really long way to go. And we are just grateful that we have our elders really showing us the way and really bringing us closer to our heavenly parent and to our beloved true parents. And also our Kuya Romy, because I know also Kuya Romy, I know them also maybe somehow, and I could really see how they have lived their amazing life following absolutely true parents. Kuya Romy and Atikino also, their family, the Joshua's family, they're truly our great model. So anyway, this time we just welcome 2022. And when I try to review also the things that our nation together, all of us could somehow, offer, even though very small, still we realize many things still needs to be done. And then this year, 2022, actually we are preparing a national leaders meeting this coming January 6 and 7. All our leaders will be going to La Union. And now also we are preparing what will be our plan for this year 2022. We know how important this year is. True Mother is really investing a lot for the reunification of North and South Korea. True Mother is really doing everything now. No, we cannot miss this opportunity. So also in our country, also this year will be election. And really many things. That's why this time, how to restore our nation this year of 2022. What can we do now? What are we going to do with all the foundations that we have? And True Parents have invested a lot, so much, but still many things needs to be done, so we cannot really miss this opportunity. That's why this time, how can we really unite and really work together with our beloved True Mother in the Philippines? Still a lot of things we need to improve, a lot of things we need to organize. As what Sir Ronnie was sharing in Maribeles, no center there. Actually, in many areas now, this time we have around 45 churches nationwide, but not all are really active. How can we really, mothers mentioning that we need to make our churches very active, like even nighttime, even early morning, the lights are on, meaning witnessing should be continuous. Divine principle education should be continuous. So how can we bring back the kind of spirit in the past? So now President Hor is talking about raising up not only members, but raising up full-time leaders. Actually, our hearts, especially now our elders, maybe that have experienced how great our movement, also especially before, how active witnessing in the past, how active churches are compared to now. So now we can see we really need to raise up many full-time leaders. Dr. Lim, just recently we had the Songwa ceremony of Tita Eloise Lim in Cebu City. He gave me, before I left Cebu, he gave me a witnessing guideline that he made himself. And then I started to read, starting from the basic. And then Dr. Lim, when I became national leader, he started to talk to me. We need to send a lot of pioneers. We need to make again, raise up young people and send them. We need to send pioneers again in our country. So I think if we cannot bring back this kind of spirit, how can we restore our country? In the Philippines now, how can we fill up each areas with churches? So now, how can we make a plan now? This time, this January 6 and 7, we need to show a way. President Hori will be joining, Sir Julius, Reverend Ronnie, all our leaders will be joining in this meeting. So how can we advance with the foundation that we have now in this year, 2022? How much True Mothers expecting this time? So really in our hearts, how can we be able to accomplish more as True Parents have given us another year? So only by really working together. And then really True Mother's heart is to see all these families to become Cheonbo families. This is really the heart of our beloved True Mother. Where Jimmy said this year there will be no induction of Cheonbo, but probably next year. So it's really great time for us, especially all our blessed central families, all blessed families who are not Cheonbo yet, everyone are challengers. So at least we have this kind of mind, and then let's really work together and truly fulfill Heavenly Parents and True Parents' expectation. So this year of 2022, we have to multiply to 10-folds or 100-folds the grace and blessing that we have received from True Parents, all the foundations that we have now. So let's really show to True Parents our gratitude through really bringing more result this year. Let's fill up all regions. Let's really expand our foundations. We have regional areas, but sometimes only one province we have church. So how can we, like for example, in Bicol region, they have like 6 provinces. How can we fill up at least in all provinces and then in all towns and municipalities? So this is really True Parents' expectation. So if we multiply Cheonbo families, they are actually like churches. Later on, they will become Cheonbo Church. So now we have more than 100 Cheonbo in the Philippines. We are meant to become actually church leaders, all Cheonbo families. We are church leaders. So how can we really take care of our 430 tribe? One day we need to really build also our physical churches. And then also the church leaders, they will be the ones, President Hori said, that will going to take care of other Cheonbo families, our blessed families. But we are the ones directly taking care of our 430 couples. We stand as church leader, those Cheonbos. So that's why this year, this is really again another year for us to advance through multiplying Cheonbo families. Jimmy, I think a while ago was saying, at least how can we multiply? Maybe Sir Julius, 2 or 3. Tayo po, paano po tayo mag-multiply from our spiritual children? So anyway, this is really our final path that all of us needs to become Cheonbo families. And then we realize from testimonies, not only to focus on our own, helping others, this is really the way of becoming Cheonbo. So also I realized I became Cheonbo. I didn't actually do much, but I just realized in the past also I was helping also some families. And then when my time comes, also some people help me. I cannot become Cheonbo without them. So really to becoming Cheonbo, not only thinking about our own. If you just think on your own, the more difficult to become Cheonbo. But the foundation is helping others first. Everybody who became Cheonbo, first we started to help others. When I was in IPLC, I was lecturing also in many places there and helping many Cheonbos there before. I'm not thinking about mine at the time. I visited also experience in India. We helped the national leader there. In India, together with IPLC students in 2015, we conducted the biggest blessing event in India, in New Delhi. That is to support the national leader of India. So we have to help others first before thinking about our own. And then when your time comes, like also when my time comes, actually I didn't do much. But our leaders, Ate Shirley, Kuya Angel, Kuya Errol, many helped me. Then I could accomplish becoming Cheonbo. So if only we think of our own, very, very challenging, very, very difficult. The way to accomplish our, becoming Cheonbo is helping others first. That's why this year of 2022, let's really think whom to help to become Cheonbo. How many in our tribe or our spiritual children? We have to support them in whatever way. And then, based on that foundation and really thinking, practicing living for others, one day, you also will absolutely will become Cheonbo. Aju, so this is really, I think, very, really now time for us to really accomplish through parents' expectation this year of 2022. Many things will really going to happen this year. As what Sir Julius was sharing, this is the year of the water tiger. That really very adventurous and really really big things will going to happen this year. So maybe all our blessed families this year in the Philippines will really become Cheonbo families, and really we can influence and really inspire not only Asia Pacific region, but we can inspire the worldwide movement, and really we can bring joy and happiness to our beloved Heavenly Parent and true parents. So once again, thank you very much to all our leaders, and especially to the family of Kuya Joshua for your really amazing inspiration for all of us, and also the family of Kuya Romy and Atikino. They are truly the true treasures of heaven, and really you are one great model of our country. We are really proud of you. Thank you very much, and all our leaders and Cheonbo families. Let's really work harder and unite with our beloved True Mother and really bring victory in this year 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our Honorable Reverend Dr. Lay Angelo Halog for summarizing and giving us the closing words. So again, this testified to us again as Cheonbo families, Cheonbo challengers. So we are not just ordinary members, but let's find a way on how we have to help the national providence. As you know, we have already 135 or 136 Cheonbo families inducted in the Philippines. So I hope that this is already a big number that can truly support our national providence, as we are called already as church leaders or pastors in our own tribe. So let's do something. So hopefully with this coming meeting, let's share our maybe suggestions or recommendations what we can do to improve or to do more for the providence for 2022. So again, thank you so much with our national leader, our Honorable Reverend Dr. Lay Angelo Halog. Let's give him our virtual clap. So with a short announcement, by next week, we'll have our regular meeting that is already January 10. And the one who are scheduled, our Honorable Reverend John Robert Gregorio and Catherine for the testimony and best practices, and also our Honorable Kuya Brian and Naomi Derihi, our field job family. So they are going to give their testimony, and please let's invite more of our HTM tribe and our Cheonbo challengers, our blessed families, to learn and to listen to these best practices. We are learning a lot, and not only that, but also we can bring ourselves closer with one another as brothers and sisters, so that we can know how we have to contribute for the national providence. And to inform everyone, we already resumed with our evening devotion. So please do your best, especially our Cheonbo families, to please, we are inviting you to become part of this activity as a way of follow-up of our HTM. So please be involved with these programs so that 2022 can become more prosperous and more amazing results can happen for this year.
Not necessary na sila.
Yeah. So you can, invite anybody or to join this program. Okay. So to close with our meeting for this evening, is very, very fruitful meeting. So I would like to invite our Honorable Reverend Dr. Francis and Annalisa Lopez couple, or one of them to give the closing prayer.
Good evening, my dear blessed families.
Good evening.
Cheonbo families. Happy New Year to everyone. Let us join our hearts together in prayer. Our Heavenly Parent, we are so grateful for this opportunity that you deepen our heart to love even more by fulfilling our responsibility to become treasure from heaven, to become Cheonbo families. Heavenly Parent, we are so grateful for sending our two parents who totally one with your heart, Heavenly Parent. That's why we wanted to imitate our two parents. And also us, we wanted to really deeply love you even more, our Heavenly Parent, who never abandoned us. And through this mission as Heavenly Tribal Messiahs, as Cheonbo families, you wanted us to deepen our heart to love and love even more without knowing our situation, Heavenly Parent, without seeking any comfort. But the most important is you educated our heart to love even the most simple people living in our community. We cannot escape that kind of feeling, Heavenly Father, of situation, because you've anointed us, you gave us the mission, and you wanted us to become like you, Heavenly Parent. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for everything, for this opportunity of our life, that our life has meaning and valuable. At the same time, we share it, that our generations, Father, our future descendants could also inherit the heart of Cheonbo, Father, the heart of true love. And this is the way we could really establish our Cheonbo, Heavenly Father, to you and to our true parents, to my wife, to our family, to our children. This is only a training of heart, Heavenly Parent. All of these things that we have done for you. And our true parents has been rejected because they love and even love more, even though they are rejected. They are tortured, Father, and crucified. Even Jesus, Father, loved even the one who killed him, Father. This is our path, Heavenly Father, to become like you and perfect our character. But because of this, we have our portion of responsibility that you cannot interfere, Heavenly Parent. That's why our responsibility is to really, really resemble your heart, Heavenly Parent. Even though it's not easy to love, it's so painful to love, but still the only way that we could really bring our lost relationship as parent and child. And through this mission, Heavenly Parent, as Heavenly Tribal Messiah, as Cheonbo families, we could be able to really perfect our heart to love more, to bring these kind families together in the kingdom of heaven, Father, living with you. This is the way, Father, that we could perfect our character. Thank you so much, Heavenly Parent, and all elders who really, really work hard, invested their heart to the fullest, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Heavenly Parent, for this opportunity. And together, with all our hearts, with all our brothers and sisters, I report this in our name. In my name, Francis Lopez, bless and Cheonbo families. Aju. Amen.
Aju.
Aju. Thank you so much, our Honorable Dr. Francis, for that very sincere prayer. So with that, before we are going to conclude our meeting, let's have a first commemorative photo for this year 2022. I would like to ask Crystal to lead us in the photo ops. Crystal.
Si Tara. Crystal. Nawala yata si Crystal.
Crystal.
Nag-music na siya.
Hello, Crystal. Hello, are you around? My goodness. So I would like to ask Rose, can you lead us starting photo up?
Yes po, thank you so much. So let's take a picture po. Please wear a beautiful smile for our first commemorative photo for our Cheonbo.
Please open your camera and give your big smile for 2022. Para the year 2022 can become more glorious and more prosperous.
Saan ba?
Hello po!
Okay, everybody.
Maki!
Okay, let's start. In 1, 2, 3,
Please
say,
open your
oh, money.
camera.
Money.
Second, Abuji.
Abuji.
Say, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Ligaya.
Happy New Year.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Sony.
Maligong bagong taon.
For Vision 2022 and
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Edgar, Ramon.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year. Advance Merry Christmas.
New Year,
everyone. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye. See you next
In the family.
Sawadika.
Sawadika.
Kamsahamnida. Thank you very much.
Kamsahamnida.
Kamsahamnida. Sehe bok mani badseyo.
I have blessing ring. What about you? You are leader.
I have blessing wife.
Maligong bagong taon po. Maraming salamat.
Aray nabanggit.
Thank you so much.
Aray nabanggi sa inyong gabos.
Thank you. See you again.
Salamat.
Thank you.
Salamat po.
Ayong gabi. Please take care. Mindanao, Visayas, Bohol. Take care po. Be safe always.
Second.
Thank you very much, great leader. See you in
Nancy Fulgencio.
Bye-bye po.
Bye.
Hello, Kuya Jaime Bigornia.
Thank you.
Pagsubuanga. Kuya.
Ganun na rin si Ellen Palyari.
Nandiyan na si Ate.
Wala si Resto, Kuya Resto. Sige. Kaya maingin minsan eh.
Okay.
Lawit na.
Kasi yung ano wala. Hi, Edeline. Dami niyo dyan.
Hello po!
Ate Sonia Relines.
Ready na
Sama ko po
noon.
Ate. Ate Sonia teacher.
Cebu
Hindi lang lang
family.
yun.
Happy
Abraham.
Wow, Abe. Good evening.
Grabe.
Oh,
Happy
Ah,
Ate
alas
Lily.
3 ng umaga dito.
Uy. Thank you.
Madaling araw, ah.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay, bye.
Thank you for attending.
Happy New Year!
Oh, happy New Year sa lahat.
Happy New Year.
Sa abroad na. Sa other country siguro.
Bukas.
Elna, si Elna niyo.
Cebu family, happy New Year.
Ah.
Yeah, bye.
Elna po.